and you are looking live at Sold Out Giants Stadium, where today the 16-0 New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Houston Texans. Why does Houston Texans 0-16? Because they suck. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all? Anybody going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening? I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Or anybody going to watch any of the replay of this, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. You guys absolutely rock. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight. As I always do, shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say? Just fire away in the chat box. I check on the chat box like every 5-10 minutes or so. So anything goes in there, I usually respond to as soon as I can. Usually there's not much there. So, I always try to respond to every comment, So please feel free, fire away, okay? Before we get started, if you want to help support my channel, I would greatly appreciate it. It would mean so much to me. In the description box, there's a link. It's the top link in the description box. It says, like, if you want to join my channel, I got 3 membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. The second one's called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third one is called the Gridiron. 3 different membership levels. Each one's got like the different perks to them. They all got like loyalty badges. They're pretty cool. They're like different helmets from the Giants, from the Giants from the past. Like the longer you've been a member of my channel, the older the helmet gets. That's pretty cool. And then also there's some emojis. I got 4 emojis. I'll be coming out with a 5th one in the future. They're pretty cool as well too, and each one's got like their own little perks to them and everything. So if you want to help support my channel, it would mean so much to me. I would greatly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please click the subscribe button below. It's free to do so. All right. That way, and hit the bell icon. That way, next time I go live or put out a video, whatever, you'll be notified. Right. And please, if you give this video a thumbs up, it would mean the world to me. Once again, I would greatly appreciate it. And then also in the description box, there's a link. I got a couple links there from Facebook. Okay. One of them, okay, it's called, it is a group. All right. It has over 1,800 members. It's called The Gridiron, oddly enough. Okay. There's new stuff going in there every day. Plus, some of the people that are members, they add stuff in every day. So usually every day there's like 4 or 5 different things at least going up on there every day. All right, fresh stuff every day. So please click on that link and become a member of the Gridiron. We'd love to have you. And then also there's another link underneath that as well. Okay. It's I got a couple pages, but one of them is called, oddly enough, The Gridiron. The New York Giants, The Gridiron. It's a page. So right now I got 263 likes, 319 people following the page. Okay. Same thing there. Please just, go on in there and like it and become a follower. And the same thing is there's like every day. I mean, I try to put like, what would you say? About 5 different things or so. Every day in there. So there's always fresh stuff going in there all the time. Okay. So please, same thing. Just go on in there and like away and follow, join, all that stuff, everything. It'd be absolutely fantastic to have as many people on board as we humanly possibly can. Can never have too many people, especially can never have too many Giant fans out there. Okay. So, all right. With all of that said, okay. Let's see. Want to go ahead here, and we got some of the injury news. Okay, look like we're starting to turn the corner a little bit. Although some of it we're turning the corner, but some of it, as we also lost some guys are on IR. So kind of hoping to maybe get some of those guys back soon as well. The clock's also ticking on Shane Lemieux. All right, we got to have him. He's not. I don't believe he's going to be playing this weekend as on the roster. Okay, but hopefully the clock is ticking on him. Hopefully within the next week or so, he'll be joining the final 53 because we can use as many guys as we can. It'd be nice because Bredeson's out, but we can get Evan Neal back. We just got Nick Gates just came onto the 53 man. He played like 5 snaps in the last game we just played. If we get Lemieux back, we start getting some of our offensive linemen back. That would be huge. Get some good depth there. That would be huge. We're getting Cordell Flott back, so we probably hope we bring Lanny Collins up from the practice squad once again to take help take the place maybe of Xavier McKinney because he's out. But on the injury report, where are we at here? I got so many different things up here. All right, here we go. The final injury report, Giants are optimistic Kenny Golladay will play. Giants could use a boost at wide receiver, and it might get one, which is fantastic. Whew. One thing I've always, because the last time, the Giants and the Texans played 2018. The Giants won 27-22. Giants had the ball. Okay, it was, I'm just kind of wondering why, because we need a spark at wide receiver, right? Why not take our deadliest weapon, put the man out wide? Okay, now that's going to put a little fear, into the defense. Okay, put them in. We're weak at wide receiver, right? Put Breida back there, Brightwell, or somebody back there. Okay, all right. And put Saquon out wide. Right now we get Wan'Dale Robinson. Right, you get Saquon out wide. Get Kenny Golladay out wide. Right now you got a little bit of fear there. All right. When you got Chris Myrick and Tanner Hudson and Richie James and Dave Sills, right, and so on and so on. So there ain't no fear. There's no fear. Okay. Right, you got the only fear is Saquon in the backfield. Okay, so now, he's in the backfield. Now you got like 11 guys in front of him. If you throw him out wide, okay, there's only a few guys that play out there, right? So now this field starts opening up for the man. Okay, things can possibly start happening. Okay, it doesn't mean you can't run him into the backfield or something like that, have him take a handoff or whatever. But I mean, I'm just kind of wondering why I haven't seen a little bit more of that, right? But the last time they put when and this is also this is when we had was Shermer there. Okay, Shermer was the head coach. Okay, Shermer got some. Shermer may not have been a very good head coach, but he was good at calling plays. All right, and we got the best out of Saquon. He had over 2,000 yards, right, in his rookie season, 2018, over 2,000 all-purpose yards, right. Over 1,300 rushing, over 700 receiving. They had over 90 catches. Hasn't come close to that since, okay? Especially in the Joe Judge year. But anyway, Shermer got some good, right? He got some, got some good use out of Saquon. Giants had the ball. They were up 20-15. It was 3rd down and 1. I forgot they had the ball around like the 25-yard line or so, whatever it was, maybe the 30, 25. Eli Manning drops back to pass. Saquon's wide. He's down. He was looking at him. He's at the bottom of the screen. He's out wide. Okay. Eli drops back to pass. Looks Saquon's way. Just throws the ball. All right. Saquon runs like 10 yards, whatever it is, and the ball's there. Saquon goes up. Boom, and gets the ball, comes down with the ball. The defender's on top of him, but so he gets tackled immediately. All right. But he catches the ball. 1st down. All right. Why is that big? Well, continues to drive. Okay. This is when the Giants played the Texans last in 2018. So it was 2015. If the Giants didn't make that 1st down and maybe to kick a field goal, they're up 23-15. Well, why is that important? Well, because the Texans got the ball back, marched down the field with 2 seconds left. They scored a touchdown. If it was 23-15 after we kicked the field goal, okay, the Texans maybe go for 2, get the 2. It's 23-23. We're going to overtime, maybe to lose the game. Now, in the long run, it wouldn't have mattered because the Giants had such a horrible season. Okay. But, you want to win a football game, right? So it was important that the Giants continued to drive. Saquon, was the wide receiver. He didn't have like 7 yards of separation. Matter of fact, he had hardly any separation at all. But Eli trusted him. He threw him the ball. Saquon went up, got the ball, came down, first down. A couple plays later, Eli hit Sterling Shepard in the end zone for a touchdown to make it 27-15, put the Giants by 12 points. Now the Texans had to score 2 touchdowns, okay? And it took them with 2 seconds left in the game to score 1 touchdown. So basically the game was over, when they finally scored their other touchdown, But I'm just kind of wondering why we don't put, Saquon out a little bit, wide, a little bit more often than we have been, right? Because, that'll strike a little fear in you. You may not maybe get the most separation, maybe kind of on a pass route, but if you get the ball in his hands in space and let him do his thing, he can take the ball to the house anytime. Okay, so I just kind of wondered, but we're getting some help back. Okay, so the Giants head coach Brian Daboll said on Friday that it is optimistic wide receiver Kenny Golladay has been out since week 4 with a sprained MCL will make his return on Sunday against the Houston Texans. The Giants, last in the league in explosive passing plays and 30th overall in passing yards, could use a healthy and productive Golladay. Of course, he has been in neither since signing a 4-year, $72 million free agent contract prior to the 2021 season. Daniel Bellinger and Evan Neal will not play. They're out. Okay. But hopefully, over the next week or two, we'll get Evan Neal back. And if we're lucky, maybe we'll get Bellinger back by the time we play the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. That would be huge because we need Cowboys with that good defense. We need all hands on deck. Okay, we need like Daniel Jones, but we need a healthy Saquon Barkley in the backfield. We need all as many healthy wide receivers as we can get. We need as many good offensive linemen as we can get. Remember, because Evan Neal, last time he got schooled big time. He gave up 3 sacks. So we need, we need all hands on deck there, especially on our offense, because the Cowboys got a good defense, and that could be a Thanksgiving Day massacre if we're not playing big boy football on Thanksgiving. We could get destroyed. It may not be pretty, but Bellinger out since suffering a fractured eye socket against the Jaguars. Expect optimism earlier this week that he will play again this season. I also read a report that he's back to 100% vision. He was having double vision, but now he's back to hopefully seeing, 20/20 vision, I guess, shall we say. Neal was also injured against the Jaguars. Tyree Phillips started in Neal's right tackle spot week 8 against the Seahawks and is expected to do so again this Sunday. Marcus Johnson, which is we don't need more injury news on our wide receivers, but Marcus Johnson was added to the injury report with a thumb injury. But however, the wide receiver does not have a designation for Sunday, meaning he is expected to. He's not doubtful. Okay, he's not questionable. He's not out. He's nothing. Okay, so he's expected to play. Okay, so the Giants only have 5 people on their injury report, which is what you were kind of hoping. I don't know. You want to say it's kind of 6 because we lost Xavier McKinney, but he's on the IR. Not many teams can actually get players hurt on their bye week, but the Giants seem to have the knack for injuries, so it is what it is. But the Giants only have 5 guys listed. Okay, Bellinger and Neal are out. Flott, Golladay, and Ximines are all questionable. Okay, but they're kind of trending toward the possibility of playing. So it would be good to see the X-Man back on the field again. Okay, if we got him and Tobin Fox, right? Ellison Smith, Kayvon Thibodeau, right? Maybe who else? Jihad Ward, right? Get some the edge rushers. If we get another Leonard Williams, hopefully had a nice week to help recuperate and all. Hopefully he's nice and fresh because he was a handful against the Seahawks. He played a very good game against the Seahawks. So him and Sexy Dexter, right? Man in the middle, right? That would be good, right? So, and then if we can get Cordell Flott back, which would be huge because, we need as much help as we can get in the secondary because Aaron Robinson he's out for the season. I don't expect him to be back at all, right? So we can use as much help as we can possibly get in the secondary, all right? And I said the same thing with Kenny Golladay. More people we can get back on the wide receivers, the better. And we can certainly use Kenny Golladay. Not that he's going to be, I don't know. I mean, it'd just be nice to see the Giants get something out of the guy before they let him go at the end of the season. Something. Guy has 2 receptions all year. I mean, come on. Now, for the Texans, they only got one guy out, Neville Hewitt. All right, linebacker, he's got a hamstring. He's out. But they got 4 guys questionable. Brandon Cooks, wide receiver. He's with a wrist, okay. Malik Collins, defensive lineman with the chest. Nico Collins, wide receiver with the groin. Apparently, what I keep hearing is the 2 Collinses will be back, okay. Malik and Nico. Apparently, they'll supposed to be playing. But as of right now, they're questionable, okay? And Jalen Reeves-Maybin, he's a linebacker. He's questionable with the groin. So, I mean, neither team has a lot of guys injured. I mean, obviously, the Giants do have a lot of guys injured, but just a lot of them are on IR, okay? And hopefully we'll be getting some of them back, hopefully, as time goes by. So, it would be fantastic, absolutely fantastic if the Giants could come out of this game, okay, with the dub, right? And not only that, but come out relatively injury-free. I mean, it'd be just fantastic. Oh, boy. Giants and their injuries. Got to love it, huh? All right, so, but now I want to give a little tribute here, okay, to a couple real special veterans. And before I start, I just want to say, all women, men and women out there of the armed services, thank you so much. Lord knows where this country would be without those brave people, right? Putting their lives on the line every day, right? Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You guys freaking rock. Thank you so much. So I've had this channel for, I don't know, I think it was like February, March, I think it was, of 2021. So I've done about 500 videos so far, somewhere around there, pretty much like one a day. You know, every month I might miss a day or 2 here or there. But in the past, I have done a couple of videos on these 2 individuals here, okay, Veterans Day. I think it might have been last Veterans Day. I think I might have done a video on them as well, you know, so it's probably going to be maybe some type of tradition here on my channel. You know, obviously when it's Veterans Day, you know, you want to always thank, honor, and thank the men and women of the armed forces. So there's 2 guys here, okay, that played for the Giants, okay, in the early 40s, who gave their lives, okay, in WW2, okay. One of them, all right, had his number retired by the Giants. Okay, he's a guy I'm going to go over first. Okay, his name is Al Blozis. He played for the Giants from 1942. He played like 3 games in 1944, I believe it was. So he played a little over 2 years, all right, for the Giants. But they retired his number. Okay, his jersey number 32. He's also in the Ring of Honor. Okay. He was really good. Okay. How good was he? He was so good. He only played like a little over 2 years. Okay. But in those 2 years, he was on the NFL's all-decade team of the 1940s. Okay. So back then, they played like 12 games a season. So 1942, 1943, he played 24, 25, 20, played maybe like 27 games. I didn't look up his stats. So I should have. But he played like 25, 26 games or so in his whole career for the Giants. And somehow he made the all-decade team. Okay, so he was really pretty special. All right, so I want to go over him first. All right, Al Blozis, known as Al, was born on January 5th, 1919 in Garfield, New Jersey, okay? He was drafted in the 5th round of the 1942 NFL draft and played offensive tackle for the Giants at the National Football League in 1942 and 1943 before entering the military. He was also able to play 3 games in the 1944 season while on furlough, okay? Let's see here. He was a fantastic athlete too. He attended William L. Dickinson High School in Jersey City, New Jersey, where he became well known for his skill in the discus throw and shot put. At Georgetown University, he won the AAU and NCAA indoor and outdoor shot put titles 3 years in a row, from 1940 to 1942. And he had his best put was 57 feet, 3/4 inches. In 2015, Al Blozis was inducted into the National Track and Field Hall of Fame. Okay, so he was a very good athlete. Let's see, here we got. Okay, in a 1991 news story, okay, New York Times wrote, curiously, the very size that made him so intimidating on the football field kept him out of the military until late 1943, because he was tall. What was he? He was 6'6", 250 pounds. So you're 6'6", 250 pounds. That's a huge human being back then. I mean, 6'6" nowadays is big, but I mean, even 250 back then, that was a big human being. I mean, and it wasn't like he was, whatever, 6 foot, 250 with a huge beer gut, and he was just a defensive tackle, and he just took up space. And no, he was tall and big. He was an intimidating human being on the football field. Okay. When after repeated attempts, Blozis finally persuaded the Army to waive its size limit and accept him, it took him further persuading to get him from a desk job to the front lines. They said, all right, we'll bring you in, but we're just going to give you a desk job. He didn't want that. No. He wanted to go fight for the country. Okay. So he was inducted into the Army on December 9th, 1943. He was first assigned duty as a physical instructor at Walter Reed General Hospital and then went through officer training at Fort Benning, where he set the Army's hand grenade throw record with a toss of 94 yards, 2 feet, 6.5 inches. So basically, he threw a hand grenade the length of a football field. I mean, I'm sure it rolled, I'm imagining. But, I mean, my God, he threw a hand grenade, which weighs quite a bit, the length of a football field. He's a special athlete. Right? He was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the 28th Infantry Division. On January 31st, 1945, his platoon was in the Visage. It's a mountain in mountain range in France. If I screwed the name up, I apologize. Scouting enemy lines when two of his men, a sergeant and a private, failed to return from a patrol. He went in search of them alone. He never returned. He was first listed as missing, but in April 1945, his death was confirmed. His remains were buried at the Lorraine American Cemetery and Memorial in St. Avoid Marseille. I'm sure I'm screwed that name up. I do apologize. I got something else here on him. The saddest aspect about Al Blozis' life was how quick it was. He endeared to his country, to this country. Blozis sought long and earnestly to obtain a dispensation from military height restrictions. He finally received his wish when inducted into the Army on December 9th, 1943. During infantry training, he again exhibited his outstanding physical ability by throwing a hand grenade. Almost 95 yards. Holy crap. Nearly three times the previous distance of a normal throw, and demolishing the previous record throw easily. 3 times the distance of a normal hand grenade throw. Holy crap. Yet in the end, this attribute did not protect his life. On his first patrol, less than 2 months after playing his last game on the Gridiron, Lieutenant Alfred Blozis was killed in the Visage. I said, if I screwed that up, I'm Vosges Mountains in France during an encounter related to the Battle of the Bulge. Al was only 26 years old. Blozis' premature death robbed football of a standout player, track and field of a virtually certain Olympic gold medalist. and Georgetown of a devoted alumnus. It is in any indication he received just recognition of his talent while alive. Most notable is a UPI award selecting Al Blozis, one of the three outstanding athletes in 1941. One of the three. Okay, the other two, Ben Hogan and Joe Louis. Two of the absolute greatest of all time. Joe Louis, I mean, what a phenomenal boxer. Ben Hogan, one of the all-time great golfers of all time. So the three, right? The UPI selected had an award with three outstanding athletes: Al Blozis, Ben Hogan, and Joe Louis. I mean, absolute shame. Absolute shame. All right, then the other one, okay, we have is I want to go over here is Jack Loomis. Okay, he's another guy. Sadly gave his life for this country. Brave human beings. All right. Jack Loomis, born October 22nd, 1915, was a two-sport athlete at Baylor University, a professional football player with the Giants, and an officer in the United States Marine Corps. He fought and died at the Battle of Iwo Jima. Okay, so these are two huge, unbelievably horrible, intense battles. Horrible. Iwo Jima and the Battle of the Bulge. It took many lives. He received the Medal of Honor for his valor. All right, let's see here. So we got here. This is a little bit of his life here. On May 26, 1941, an Army Air Corps recruiter came to I believe it was to his school. Loomis and 25 other students enlisted in the Air Corps. This is funny, but not funny. Okay, he enlisted in the Air Corps and signed up for a civilian flying school as a result of the visit. While waiting for the Air Corps to call him, Loomis inexplicably dropped out of Baylor. He was going to graduate soon, and his academic records show satisfactory grades. The ongoing war in Europe was thought to have influenced this decision. After dropping out, Loomis joined the Class D Spudders of the West Texas, New Mexico League. He played right in center field. On July 6, 1941, he played his 26th and last game for the Spudders. The Army Air Corps had called on him to honor his enlisted papers. In those 26 games, he had a .257 batting average. Loomis reported to Hicks Field, 40 miles northwest of Fort Worth, Texas, to enroll in flight school there that was licensed by the Army, but run by civilians. While making his first solo flight, he flew the flight plan and landed without flaw. However, while taxiing on the runway, he accidentally clipped a fence with his wingtip, washing him out of flight school. So he then traveled to the New York Giants training camp in Superior, Wisconsin, as one of the 30 players who made the Giants roster. He wore number 29. Okay. He had signed on as a free agent and received a whopping $100 monthly salary. $100. Could you imagine guys living on $100 a day? Huh? He made the team as a rookie and played in 9 games. He caught one pass in 9 games. He caught one pass for 5 yards. He played 9 games, but in those 9 games he played end, he caught one pass. On December 7th, 1941, the Giants were playing their arch rival, the Brooklyn Dodgers, which they lost that day. They were home. I think they lost. It was either 28-14 or 21-7, but the Dodgers beat them that day. Around halftime, the Associated Press ticker in the press box gave out a message saying, airplanes identified as Japanese have attacked an American naval base at Pearl Harbor. Now, you got to remember that the Giants game was about halftime was probably 2-3 o'clock, somewhere around it, 2:30, whatever. Well, since, Hawaii is, they attack kind of early in the morning, or in the morning at Pearl Harbor. Well, because Hawaii is 5 hours behind. So, they attacked in the morning, but it was like about 2:30 in the afternoon in New York time. All right. Let's see. The players continued the game knowing nothing of the attack. The Giants lost, but went on to play the Chicago Bears in the championship game, and they lost 37-9. They got their asses handed to them that day. On October 11, 2015, the Giants honored Loomis by inducting him into the Giants Ring of Honor. Okay. Now, I heard a lot of different things. Like there was an announcement at halftime, like over the loudspeakers. Some of the people heard it. Some people didn't hear it. I heard some people knew about it in the locker room. Some people didn't know about it in the locker room. It's tough to say exactly what happened. But while they were playing on December 7th, the Giants were actually playing a game. And while in the middle of the game, that's when Pearl Harbor got attacked. Okay. So with Loomis, after the championship game, Loomis enlisted in the Marine Corps Reserve on January 30th, 1942, after finishing basic training at the Main Side Recruit Training Center in San Diego, California. He was assigned to Camp Elliott, 10 miles north of San Diego. There he joined the Devil Dogs, right? The San Diego Marine Corps Baseball Club. In May 1942, he was sent to the busy seaport of Mare Island as a military policeman. There he joined another baseball club. On June 10th, he was promoted to private first class, and 2 months later, he was promoted to corporal. On October 18th, he enrolled at the Officers Training School at Quantico, Virginia. He graduated on December 18th and received a commission as a second lieutenant. He was sent back to California and was assigned to the elite Marine Raiders at Camp Pendleton, where the Marine Raiders were dissolved. He was assigned to the 27th Marines, 5th Marine Division. In January 1944, he was assigned an executive officer, Company F, 2nd Battalion, 27th Marines. In August 1944, the division was transferred to Camp Tarawa outside of Hawaii. Loomis boarded the USS Henry Clay for the trip. After 4 months of training, the division was assigned to the V Amphibious Corps and would fight to take the island of Iwo Jima. All right. This is where it gets nasty, guys. Loomis was in the first wave of the troops to land at Iwo Jima on February 19, 1945. He landed at 9 a.m. on the beach known as Red 1. He and his platoon spent the next 2 weeks incessantly fighting the dug-in Japanese. His initial duty was a liaison officer for the 2nd Battalion, spotting targets on the slopes of Mount Suribachi for the artillery and airstrikes. On March 6th, he was given command of Company E's 3rd Rifle Platoon. On March 8th, his platoon was spearheading a final assault on an objective east of Kitano Point near the northern edge of the island. Despite minor wounds received from grenade fragmentation, Loomis knocked out 3 enemy strongholds, well-fortified positions arranged to defend each other, which were preventing his platoon from reaching its objective. Following this action, he stepped on a landmine and was mortally wounded, losing his legs. While laying on the ground, he urged his platoon on until he was carried off to an aid station. At the aid station, he famously told the doctor, Thomas M. Brown, "Well, Doc, the Giants lost a mighty good end today." He was transferred to the field hospital where he underwent surgery and a transfusion of 18 pints of blood, but sadly he died of internal wounds on the operating table. He was buried in plot 5, row 13, grave 1244 in the 5th Division Cemetery. His body was later moved to Ennis, Texas. In a letter to his mother, Loomis commanding officer wrote, "Jack suffered very little, for he didn't live long. I saw Jack soon after he was hit. With calmness, serenity, and complacency, Jack said, 'The Giants lost a good man.' Well, no, you were wrong, Jack. We all lost a good man. And thank you to guys. Thank you, guys. That shit just kills me. So, Sorry. To all the military out there. Thank you guys. You guys absolutely rock. And I've been shooting my mouth off about 35 minutes here. Whew. Sorry, guys. Anybody spend any time watching me? Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Anybody watches the replay of this, guys, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And all the to the people of the armed services, thank you so much. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. And as always, guys, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh yeah.